Plaintiff Antonio Davis says during a fight, he was shot in the back of the head. And after being in a coma for 2 weeks, he had to learn to walk and talk again. Antonio is suing the defendant because after he hit Antonio's car, he refused to pay for the damages. Defendant Reggie Parkerson was in the Air Force and National Guard, and now he's a public school teacher who tries to help underprivileged and at-risk youth. Reggie insists Antonio is overcharging him for the damages to his car.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, I have a very interesting background. When I was in high school, I was a knucklehead. You sell little drugs and got caught with a firearm in school. At that point in time, I got sent to Job Corps, and that was the best thing that ever happened to me. When I was in Job Corps, I was forced to grow up and become a man because I didn't have mama or daddy there. When I came back from Job Corps, I got into an incident with a gentleman on the bus stop. At that fight, he chose to shoot me in the back of the head.
Wow.
So I got shot in the back of the head, went to the ER. I was in a coma for over 2 weeks. The doctors asked my mother several times to take me off life support, but she refused to take me off life support. I came out of a coma. I had to go through physical rehab. I had to learn how to walk, talk, feed myself, and tie my shoes. So I was like a newborn baby again.
How long did it take?
Well, it took 3 to 4 months for physical rehab. I did get frustrated and mad, but like I said, I was told that, you know, no one's gonna feel sorry for you, so get your butt up and do what you have to do. At that point in time, I did do that. Had custody of my children, raised my children, worked the entire time, you know, until my health got kind of bad and I was forced to get on disability at that point in time.
Does anyone ever have fun about your incident? And
well,
they'll never say you were hard-headed, so how did it go through?
Oh, well, the bullet went in, bounced off my skull and came out.
Oh, see, so that's because you were hard-headed, all right?
My grandmama
so kids, it pays some time to be hard-headed, to bounce off that hard head.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to rehabilitate. We're glad you were able to do that. You must have good doctors.
Defendant Reggie Parkerson is accused of hitting the plaintiff's car and refusing to pay for the damages. But Reggie insists the plaintiff is overcharging him.
All right, and you and gentleman here, how do you all know each other?
Oh, well, we didn't know each other until
to the incident in
the
question?
Store.
Okay, why don't you give me a background on anything you'd like?
Former military, Air Force, and National Guard. Been teaching in the public school system in Nashville metropolitan area since 1999.
What grade?
Well, K through 12. I actually was fortunate enough to be able to work with each age group in my tenure.
Any particular subject?
Well, I like history. That was one of my favorite subjects to teach.
Okay.
And this was in Nashville in Davidson County. And 50% of the kids in that population living below the federal poverty line. And as a product of Chicago and a product of the Chicago Park District, I understand the resources afforded for someone like myself to slip through the cracks. Right. And so when I started teaching in this community, and I realized that most of the kids were from single family homes and they didn't have any resources. And I kind of was like a father figure to sometimes 30 kids in the classroom. So I saw it was a need for something constructive for these kids to apply themselves with. And I got with a couple of constituents of mine, Miss Big Mama and Coach Brian, who were working with me as a youth coach. When my son turned 5, I started coaching football. And so she was my team mom, and he was one of the coaches with me. And we thought that we could go ahead and start a program in the community that would cater to the youth. And we started a nonprofit. Well, I used my business degree. When I went to college, I couldn't use it teaching. So I used my business degree to apply for a 501c3 nonprofit. And we got a nonprofit for our youth sport program, which is Madison Youth Sports in Madison, Tennessee. And what we do is cater to all of the kids in the community that are underprivileged, at risk, to keep them off the streets, keep them off trouble, keep them, out of the gang activities, get them some constructive, and some direction in life. And so I pride myself with being a youth mentor.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 20 years now.
And I'm so glad. And I'm so glad you pointed out that, one, there's a big need. And so you're a productive role model, and you went into the most crucial areas that we need you, and that is the school system, educating these young people, showing yourself to be a positive role model, and starting a nonprofit. So we applaud you again. So, you still may have to pay this money, though. You take a collection at the school. What are you suing for? The car damages. Tell me what happened.
Yes, sir. March of this year, me and the gentleman was at a store. At the point in time, Powerball was over $400 million. So I had to go get my ticket. So I went down to the store. I backed my car out at the end of the store. I have to wait for the traffic to slack up to make a right-hand turn to go to my home. At that point in time, the gentleman's truck was in the parking lot behind mine. So he backed his truck out into my vehicle. Apparently he didn't see my vehicle, whatnot. We had a conversation about the damages on the scene. He notified me that he was gonna take care of the damage in my car. Didn't get anywhere. I tried to call him over and over and over again. And I just got tired of going through it. So I just went to the dealership and I got an estimate for the damages. We sent several text messages to each other as well. And he did note in one specific text message that he did back into my vehicle.
Let me see both your estimate and the text.
Those are the text messages.
Sir, what do you say to this?
Well, Your Honor, I've never denied backing into a gentleman's car. Actually, when the incident occurred, it was raining. This was what, sometime in February, and it had rained all week. And at when the incident occurred, I didn't see him as I was backing out. Now, I wasn't going probably 2 miles an hour. I just put it in reverse and eased back, went boom. And then I stopped the car, jumped out the seat because I thought I ran over something. It was his car. So at that time, I told him, look, I will take care of it. I know a friend of mine who works at a body shop. This, probably wouldn't be that much for him to fix. And I would like for you to come bring it to the shop. So I gave him the address.
So your defense is what?
So my defense is that
he didn't get it repaired where you wanted him to get it repaired?
Well, the thing about it is that he's trying to sue me for $2,200 when I have people who probably can do it for far less.
Yeah, probably. You hear what you just said?
Yeah. Well, I know for sure they can.
And he doesn't have a obligation to go with your jack legs?
Well, no. No, sir.
Defendant Reggie Parkerson is accused of hitting the plaintiff's car and refusing to pay for the damages. But Reggie insists the plaintiff is overcharging him.
I want to see a professional car repair estimate from you for $500 for this man's damage. Show me that.
Well,
if you got that, then we can talk further.
Well, sir,
but these jack legs, your buddy in the back got the garage in the backyard.
No, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Basically sent in a videotape of the location that I asked the gentleman to bring the car to.
I understand, sir. He has no obligation to go and get the car fixed where you want him to go and get it fixed. He can go anywhere where there's a reasonable estimate.
Yes, sir.
And he has a dealership here, and he has brought me that professional estimate. So unless you have a different estimate from a reputable car repair, I'm gonna have to grant him his judgment, because he never had an obligation to take this car that you damaged where you want him to take it. You done already did him in. Well, you want to give him a second chance. Next time when he come pick it up from the bootleg, the engine will be gone. $2,221, sir. He had no legal obligation. You had an obligation to pay for the repairs.
Yes, sir.
And had you got him a reputable place, but you tell him $500 and he knows better than that.
No,
so
sir.
What's the judgment for the plaintiff?
There's no hard feelings at all with me and the defendant.
There's no hard feelings.
No feelings at all. And me and him both gonna doing everything in the black community for me and trying to take care of that.
We will.
Right
he can honestly say that from the get-go, I told her I was gonna take care of it.